What's up, YouTube family? It's the boy What's Up G. And as we know, Drake has been taking some massive L's over the last year. And this new song with Latto, Housekeeping Those, may be the final nail in the coffin. Now, before we get into it, don't forget to drop a like and subscribe if you're new around here so you can find your way back. Let's get into it. Now, as we know, for the last 4 months, 2 weeks, and 6 days, Drake has been taking L after L. Yes, it's been 4 months, March 22nd. Since the Drake vs. Kendrick feud has started. Now, since then, we've seen a different side of Drake. He's been trying different things, trying different music, seeing if it'll stick. And recently, he dropped 100 gigs. Yes, 100 gigs of content. Some unreleased, some things we already heard, but a lot of it was like behind the scenes stuff we never seen before. He tried to show us different sides of Drake that we never seen, I guess to kind of humanize himself again. I mean, with him being called a PDF file and different things like that, he maybe thought this was a good look for him. But through this process, it's kind of backfiring on him right now. Now, before we get into that, let me give you some backstory on this 100 gigs. I went through all of it. I mean, like, this is hours and hours and hours of content he released. And it was kind of weird, you know, like, why is he doing this? I think he's kind of just trying to see what sticks. Like, if the people still accept him. I think he feels like that little Canadian kid again who's just not being accepted again. I don't think he feels like he's accepted in the States. On this 100 gigs, he decided to release a bunch of music. Now, as we know over the years, a lot of leakers have leaked a lot of his music. And I guess he just decided to turn the tables and leak his own music, which I thought was pretty cool, but it's coming from Drake, who's been a little shaky. I mean, like his morals with the little girl on stage and stuff like that. Even a nice gesture from a guy like that can be like some PDF file type stuff. Now, with this 100 gigs of content, which was mostly videos behind the scenes, concerts showing his process, he also dropped 3 songs. Yeah, 3 songs. And the 3 songs, they weren't too bad, but they weren't too good. First, he released It's Up with 21 Savage and Young Thug. Then he dropped Blue, Green, and Red. He also dropped Housekeeping Those. Housekeeping Those was supposed to be the big song with him and Latto. Latto was pretty fresh on the scene. She's been pretty dope with her music, and she's also looking to come up a little bit. If you remember, through the Drake and Kendrick beef, Latto kind of had Drake's back. So I guess he kind of respected that and figured he'll put her on a little bit. Now, with the Blue, Green, and Red, there's said to be some shots at Kendrick Lamar wanting to start the beef up again. Now, with It's Up with 21 Savage and Young Thug, in my opinion, there was some shots thrown from 21 Savage. But much like Big Sean, he went out and said that he almost apologized about it, like everybody else. Now, getting back to this 100 gigs, it all started with fans noticing Drake following an IG account titled Plot Twist with maybe 5 T's, which led to the speculation about new music on the way. Now, from this, the account was taken off private on Tuesday. The floodgates opened, leading fans to the 100 gigs to your head top website. Now, after that, Drake reposted the content to his official IG, which led fans to this website and kind of blew it up for a second, but it's kind of been here and gone the next day. Drake's been pretty careful with the music he released. I mean, since the Kendrick Lamar feud, it's kind of seemed like he's been trying to find himself again. He released collaborations with Sexy Red and Camila Cabello, which in my opinion was a bad move. Camila Cabello has had some sketchy past of being a racist, and with him being called a culture vulture, this was the ultimate wrong move in my opinion. He also previewed some songs with Lil Yachty, some cool little vibes, but they've been here and gone the next day. Because after he released that song with Lil Yachty, the producer came out and said that he didn't give Drake the permission to release that song, which shows him stealing music again. Now, also in this 100 gigs, he showed some behind the scene things with some of his celebrity friends. One of which was Steph Curry pulling up to his house, which I think was dope, and they just sat and played ping pong. He also had some other clips of maybe him and Lil Wayne. Maybe when Wayne first put him on, it kind of reminded him of his younger self. Here's the clip.
I remember being in the mall one day. I saw this rapper that was popping at the time. And I promised myself, man, I said, you know what, if I get the opportunity, I'm going to make Toronto so motherfucking proud, man. us that opportunity, man. I just want to say that a few months ago, I was locked up on some bullshit. But it was actually people like Drake and people like you from the great city of Toronto with your love and your support that actually made it feel like paradise to me. So for that, I thank you and I thank you all. I mean, I'm one of the fewest people I know that can say I spent 8 months on Rikers Island, but I didn't spend 1 day in jail. Thank you.
Now, what makes that clip kind of dope, but also weird at the same time, when Wayne was locked up, it's already been documented that Drake went out and then, he had his way with his girlfriend while he was in prison. Yes, while Lil Wayne was in prison, his prodigy, Drake, went behind his back and had his girlfriend. Drake has done some slimy things to Wayne. Wayne even went out and said that broke his heart. That had him kind of spiraling and he was hurt really bad about it, which was kind of weird because, Wayne put Drake on. He gave Drake the opportunity, as he just said in that video. And what did he do to repay him? He broke his heart, literally. Now, also in the 100 gigs, he mentions Serena Williams. If you remember, him and Serena had a thing back in the day. Now, it must have went bad because Serena recently dissed him at an awards show. But he mentioned and revealed that the song Too Good that he sung with him and Rihanna was actually about Serena Williams, which is kind of cool, but it makes you wonder, how come everybody always hates Drake after they're done dealing with him? Now, we also see in the 100 gig, Drake kind of lived out some of his childhood dreams. We also seen him with a Dipset jacket on. We could tell he always wanted to wear a Dipset. He always wanted to be a part of it. And we even seen him with the Killer Cameron jacket and bandana. When he pulled it out, it seemed like it was holy to him. I have this clip right here.
Oh my god.
That makes Drake look like a pretty dope artist. But with people like DJ Academics glazing every day, it always reminds you just all the nasty things he's done in the past. I mean, if we take a second and look at all the careers he's ruined or just haven't get any credit to, we got to look at guys like Quentin Miller, who's begged for a career, who's begged to come out of the shadows, but was just resigned to only making hits. We got to look at a guy like P&D, PartyNextDoor, who he just announced an album with. But P&D, he's been asking for an album and some push from his label for maybe the last 7 years. P&D recently gained a bunch of weight, and he's always looked very depressed, as if he was stuck in the OVO sweatshop. I've always felt bad for P&D, because P&D, he actually got resigned to the fate that was almost resigned for The Weeknd. The Weeknd made it out of the sweatshop. P&D, he never made it out. It's kind of like he just fell into a depression that he never wanted. He always wanted to be great, but he just never got that opportunity. Now he's getting the opportunity, but I feel like it's a little too late because Drake's light isn't as bright. Then we look at guys like The Weeknd, who made it out. And we see tweets from Drake saying you're not going to make it out without giving me anything back. It's always been a beef between him and Drake. And recently, one of Drake's security guards got hit up, which for me, it's not a surprise. The Weeknd, he rolls around with Nav, and it seems like Nav is holding him down. Seems like Drake should probably just leave The Weeknd alone. Now, throughout all the content, I found that him and his relationship with 40 is one of the best relationships between a producer / beat maker and an artist that you can find. I mean, the relationship that him and 40 have are to be envied by almost any artist on earth. I mean, it seems like they can make music without even thinking about it. It seems like they make music and they could do it in silence just by looking at each other and somewhat talking to each other. They just know each other and what each other needs on the track. I got some clips of it right here.
And I was going to say, it's more it feels to me more like
don't let anything get in the way of us getting something down with the feel that we have, you know what I mean? Like, not
100%.
Because the more personalities you get involved in the mix, the more time it takes, you know.
Yeah, really, that's what it all sort of boils down to. We just have such like a painless, easy process that we very much love, you know.
And you must have developed a language between you two after all these years.
Yeah, at this point we don't even really talk, you know. It's like we just go. Not a lot, like we don't need to talk a lot. Shit.
And that's what's kind of surprising about, you know, some artists, especially when they get bigger, they switch from producer to producer, or, you know, they move around. Then they have to redo that whole language. They have to you know, or they don't even know what language they want, and that's the other
100%.
thing.
100%.
Now, throughout Drake's career, we can see he's been given some things that other rappers would die for. I mean, like, he got to wear Cameron's pink jacket. I mean, like, that's the pink jacket of all pink jackets. He has a relationship with his producer that almost any artist would envy. He's had some things throughout the game that almost any artist would die for. He got to come up underneath Lil Wayne. And almost in all those situations, he's done some backstabber things that just aren't respectable and almost not forgivable. And I think that's kind of led to his karma today. I mean, like, now when Drake drops, it's like a lot of skepticism and like he's just not believing in his drop. And that's led to his drop that he just dropped with Latto, Housekeeping Knows. This is the first time a Drake song has failed to get over 1 million opening day streams on Spotify since 2015. This is big. This is marking almost the downfall of Drake. I mean, Drake not getting 1 million streams on an opening day Spotify release is almost never. Now, today, August 12th, it's a Monday, Drake has put the same song on all platforms. The 100 gigs is now on all platforms, and it's still not going to do over 1 million streams a day. With that being said, this is him testing the waters, and the waters aren't working for him. Nothing's working for him right now. He's trying different stuff with Camila Cabello. He's dropped with Sexy Red. He's dropped with Latto. I don't know what other female he's going to tap into. I mean, he's already falling out with Nicki Minaj. I don't know if that works right now. I mean, what else can he do to try to drop and create a hit before the end of the summer? I think that's dead right now. And it seems like every time he drops, we're noticing a new chink in the armor. It's like he's falling off just a little bit more. Like, just this week, Kendrick Lamar's diss Not Like Us has now been the biggest charting diss of all time, passing Tupac's Hit 'Em Up. I mean, this diss is passing and breaking every record possible, and it's at Drake's expense. Now notice how those two things coincide. Kendrick is going upward and Drake is slowly going downward. I mean, you can't really make this up. Now also, I believe it's karmatic because a lot of the things that are happening to Drake right now are the same things he did to Meek Mill. I mean, when he killed Meek Mill, he killed Meek Mill. He was coming out show after show after show, just rubbing it in his face. Almost like how Kendrick is doing to him right now. And with the way he's acted over the years, I gotta say, he kind of deserves it. Yeah. So it's your boy, What's Up G. If you like this content, don't forget to drop a like, comment, subscribe. Let me know what you think. Think Drake can make a comeback, or is this just what he deserves? Also remember, if ain't nobody told you they love y'all today, I love y'all. I'm out, y'all.
I drop, take me back, now them labels take notice. I've been giving y'all my heart, now my fans keep crying. Fuck that fake love, cause I'm good on it. Turn my back on you when I stood on it. Like fuck it, I roll a wood on it. Going hard like I should on it. Pass out bands to my gang while I hang like fuck it, I put my hood on it.